I wanted to borrow some confidence there from Helen, but she obviously left so quickly. I was caught a little bit off guard because I prepared a slideshow, but now I don't see a laptop and I didn't bring mine. So, unfortunately, no slideshow for you guys. And then, sorry about that. Leslie asked me to come and motivate you guys, But for me, it's always a question, like when it comes to motivation, And she asked me to come and speak about my life. But you guys sitting here and you got all different backgrounds, And then especially with the cyber friends and all the media today, what motivated me might not necessarily motivate you. So I decided that I don't want to make it a long, direct out thing about my life, but I rather want to try to give you something that you can maybe take forward with in your life. So on this page I got a brief summary of my life and how I started with Rotary. So back in '98 I had my real interaction with Rotary, where they came to interview kids at our school, and I was nominated out of about 30 kids to go on their adventure in citizenship. And then later that same year, I also partook in the Outward Bound here at Sedgefield. And when we came back from that trip, John over here shared with me that in '99, they will move away from just focusing on any school, but they want schools to have inter-ed clubs. And then that exposure to those trips, really showed me a different side of life, and I wanted to share that with other kids at my school. So I took it upon myself to start the inter-ed club. And today I can say about 13 years, 14 years, and it's still going strong at Nice Secondary. So that's something that's for me really motivated. And then '99 was my matric year, and that was the year where I finally got the club up and running, and we were all happy and cheery about that. Then also in '99 I was the South African Sea Cadet of the Year in South Africa, where I was awarded all expenses paid exchange program to the UK. So it was my first exposure abroad. But when I got back, I failed my preliminary exams, and it was the first time I failed throughout my entire school career. So it brought me back to a reality and say that, listen, you still need to focus on what's ahead of you. So I passed my matric, but not with the grades I wanted to, but I did pass. And then in 2000 I worked in Eisner. 2001 I was yet again fortunate to go and work at a summer camp in America, where I worked at a camp, a variety club camp, for physically and mentally challenged people, which for me was another learning curve, because on my everyday life, I wasn't exposed to people with those challenges, and it brought a new dimension to my thinking, where we as normal people sometimes take a lot of things for granted and not realizing how fortunate we are. Then 2002, I joined the Navy, and I was a proud sailor, but at the end of the year, I decided that that's not where I want my life to be, because although you're doing good by serving the country, you're not really having an impact on the lives of people. So I left that, and then 2003 to 2006, I studied human resource management, where I got exposure to training and development. And for me, that really felt like now I'm in an environment where I can really try to touch people's life and try to change, not change by force, but through motivation, have an impact on people's life. 2005, I was fortunate. I was a victim of house theft when I was still a student, and I could call on Rotary in Eisner, and they assisted me with a computer. And as you just heard, that was the booming era for social media, so I could still connect to the internet and be on Facebook. Then 2007 to 2008, I was working in Johannesburg. I was a junior manager at Pick and Pay. Once again, not really where I want to be, because there you just have to make sure that the rules that comes from top must be followed, so I didn't do good in that environment. I left that. Then, don't worry, I will sum it up now. It's not that I was ignorant or something. 2009 and 2010, I was working at National Treasury in a department called Technical Assistance Unit, where I really feel, or once again, I felt like I'm having an impact on the life of South Africans. And we were dealing with capacitation of other governmental leaders, managers, directors, trying to make sure that they do their work better so that we could reach the average man on the street. And then 2011, I moved to Knysna because I had enough of the city life, and there wasn't other things that really kept me there. And for me was that I felt that I was at a space where I now want to get down and work on the ground. So I moved back to Knysna and I was trying to get a program up and running. And I bragged about it when Leslie invited me to the lunch earlier this year. And it's still not off the ground, but I'm still positively working towards it. So that is just a brief introduction to my life. The discussion or the PowerPoint I prepared was basically, you guys as young people are sitting here today, and whenever you speak to people, they want to speak about their life or they want to talk about your life. And when I was preparing this thing, I really thought, when I was thinking about it, it's like you can't really speak about your life, because on the PowerPoint I had a line which got a definite end and a definite start. And that period is one's life. But until you haven't reached the end, you can't speak about your life because there's still time for change. And then it came to me to say that, okay, let's rather focus then on the experiences within this line, because those are the experiences that define you as a human being. It either breaks you or it builds you. And then on the slideshow, I had like 3 aspects, where the one is the choices or the options you are faced in the everyday life, then the decisions you make upon that, and thirdly, the actions you take, and although we sometimes follow in a line, we don't always do it that way, because sometimes you get an option and you just react without thinking about it, or you just react and then you think, and for you guys as young people, it's very important, because as you're sitting here today, you're sitting in a very sheltered environment, so to say, because you got your parents looking out for you, you got your big brother, you got your big sister. But 2-3 years from now, you're going to go to varsity, and it will be you that will have to look out for yourself. You will have to make the decisions. You will have to face the options that And I just wanted to speak about that because on the slideshow I had, it's a very extraordinary slideshow. Sorry I can't show it to you, but it was just words. And for me it is very important, because when you are in a situation, your attitude determines how you're really going to react. And your attitude is shaped by your upbringing. But 9 out of 10 times, when you move to one environment to the other, you have to adapt to that specific environment, and you have to then react in a specific way. Not saying that you have to sell your soul to fit in, but you know yourself, and you must behave in a way best suitable for you to survive in that specific environment. And once you can align your thoughts, your decisions, and your attitude, only then will you be able to rise upon the situation. And that was basically what I want to speak about. And just to say that, you are here in a good space. Tomorrow, week after tomorrow, whenever, you might be in a situation where you will be faced with bad options. But it is for you to have the integrity to say that this is not going to help me to reach my future goals, And you will, in 9 out of 10 times, be the not most liked person when you say no to drugs, or no to this, or no to that. But you must, in your own person, realize what is important for you, and set your goals and work towards that. So that's basically all I wanted to say. Because I know it's after lunch, and when I was sitting there, I didn't want long, direct out presentations, so I just tried to keep it short.
Any questions? Any questions?
In 2 years' time from now, or 5 years' time from now, where do you see yourself? What do you want to achieve in the next 5 years?
Ideally, with this program that I'm currently busy with trying to get started, I would want to see that I've designed this program which is up and running, where I can enrich young people's lives, and in 5 years' time hopefully write a accredited program which can be rolled out at every school in South Africa, or write a book that speaks to the needs of teen development.
Say something. You know, before you do that, Javette, is this one of your learners?
Yes.
Well, what would you have to say about this young man?
We are very proud of him, very proud. When we invited him to one of our diploma ceremonies when he was still in Johannesburg working for the department, and we made a big fuss about it. And when he was selected for that trip to go to the UK in the Sea Cadets, we made a big fuss about it. And we, as a staff at our school, and as a teacher, special teacher in his life, Mrs. Verhulst, if I'm right, that always will talk about it. And he will always be the example or the face of our school.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and after all that, we can just say thank you for coming today and for the beautiful message.
Thank you very much.
And take it home with you. And it's just...
Oh, he's in his most spring clothes.
Then we, if I can say thank you, Frank.